I'm Suzanne McNeil with Design Originals, and today I want to talk about monograms and alphabet letters. You know, this can be such a meaningful gift and is just wonderful. Look at all those beautiful tangles on there, and you can just picture this in a little frame. Wouldn't that be a wonderful gift for Angie? And then here are a few other things you can use alphabet letters for. Here's a little gift tag. And here are a couple envelopes that I received in the mail. Wow, is it exciting to get a beautiful envelope in the mail, and then you just can't wait to open it up and see what's inside too. So I just want to show you a few variations first. Here's the same M, but this one you can see that we drew the tangles around that, and this one we drew the darker tangles inside of the M. So same letter, same size tile, but look what a difference they look. And here's a Z. Susie did the, here's the basic Z, and then she colored it in different ways, so you can see how different the different colorations make. And here's some E's by Magdalena. So all E's, but look how different they use depending on the size of the alphabet letter and the tangles that are used. And here's just a variation of different letters. Of course, these are out of one of my books, Zentangle 8, so there's so much variety. Every different alphabet letter is drawn by a different person. This was one of my favorites, the little queen inside the Q. Is that fun? So I just want to give you just the basic tips today. So a lot of times I like to use these chipboard letters. They're wonderful to trace around. So I just laid the A here. And then I took my pencil or O1 pen and traced right around that. Since the word was too large for the tile, wanted to show you how I save space. Then I laid down the R, I traced around it, but I stopped wherever the A was so it looks like it's tucked behind, and I repeated that again with the T. So that's a way you can save space on your tile when you're doing words. So today what I want to show, I'm just going to use a stencil for this one. So I'm going to choose this H. And I'm going to put it off to the side here a little bit because I have a wonderful tangle that I want to show you in the background. And it takes sort of a little bit larger space than some of them do. So I just take my pen, or you could use a pencil to begin to trace that alphabet letter. And now I'm going to start with one of my tangles. This one's called Eddie. And so I'm drawing a swirl and a swirl, a right swirl and a left swirl and a right swirl and a left swirl, and I need to add a little part of that. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to repeat that swirl just right there on the inside to leave a small space. So my left swirl, my right swirl, and now to make it really special, I'm going to come in and add little lines. Just so simple, but it really sparks up the look of this tangle. So now I think you understand how to do this tangle. So I would actually repeat this tangle and make 3 lines right here. Another line of Eddie and another line of Eddie. And now I want to show you how to do poof. This looks complicated, but it is such a simple tangle. So I'm going to start with a basic grid. I prefer to turn my tile to draw the lines rather than trying to turn my brain to go the other direction. So now I have the basic grid. You know, I love grid tangles. I'm going to add 2 curved lines on each side of all of these grid lines. Very simple to follow and do this tangle. I'm just going to keep going. Of course, I'll want to go back, and this is like half of one of those melon shapes. Just keep filling in those spaces. I think this one has a wonderful look to it. And with the grid lines, they always line up perfectly. Then go back and do that partial melon shape. And now to give it even a better look, you could do this with the small pen, but I prefer to change to a larger pen to get a large dot. So I'm doing that dot in between each of these melons, right on that grid line. Really dresses this tangle up and gives it a very detailed look, but you could see how simple this pattern was to follow. So now I have one of my favorite tangles. This one's called Lace Curtains. So around my H, I would draw a frame, because I like for a lot of my letters to be in a frame. And now here goes Lace Curtain. So I'm drawing small dots, little circles that are lining up in a grid form. And now I'm just doing this one section. Going to put a line of circles in between those, and now another line of circles. One of the tricks to helping get these line up correctly is to skip down and do all of the circles in this line, and then come back and fill in these in-between circles. And that really helps get them lined up if you have a little bit trouble following those lines. So now for Lace Curtain, going to do little skinny rice shapes. Well, that's what I call these. And to connect all of these circles. Just two lines, left, right, left, right, left, right, right. Oops, forgot that one. But don't worry, with Zentangle there are no real mistakes, only opportunities to create new tangles if you draw a mark in the wrong place. That's what makes it so much fun and such an opportunity. Actually, I've created over 300 original tangles, and some of them came from those oops mistakes. So now I'm gonna go back and connect these tangles, these dots I mean, little circles. So I'm going to continue to connect these, left, right, left, right. Whenever I work with my pen, I find that normally a Sakura 01 pen will last through about over 200 tiles. The trick is in using a very light pressure so that this little delicate point stays nice and fluid. I do like the Sakura pens. They help me be a little bit more deliberate in my drawings. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to draw a large-ish circle to connect those spaces. And so I'm connecting these, but I'm stopping each time I get to one of those rice shapes because I want it to look like this is underneath. So I just continue connecting these so you can see that I've connected this, all of the ones on this row. I skip the ones on this row. I connect all the ones on this row. Okay, connected, skipped, connected, skipped, connected, skipped. Just a few more, and then I'll show you the magic part of lace curtains. Okay, so the magic comes when I take my little bit larger pen and I start coloring in these big black circles. Oops. I guess that's why they make white out. Just in case it's a tiny mistake. Or I could create a new tangle. I'll show you how I do that in just a minute. So I'm completing the lace curtain look. Is that a striking tangle? This is one of my favorite. Well, I have many favorites, but this is one of my newest favorites. Is that going to have a beautiful look? And now let's just say I didn't like that little mark right there. To create a new tangle, I could go in here and put 2 little dots on each of these circles. And that would really dress those up. You see how that's going to change the whole look. Or it looks totally different if you just want to leave it white. So let me show you where I'm getting all these tangles. This is the book, Zentangle 8. This is all about alphabets and monograms, working on tiles, and they're wonderful illustrations. 40 tangles, ones you haven't seen before. And here's the lace curtain one we talked about and that I showed you. And here is a variation of poof called Chillin'. Well, these are just so much fun, and the whole alphabet is in here, all by different guest artists. So I hope you'll enjoy your alphabets and tangles.